Now I would like to give the floor to Mr. Paul Bhatti. He is the president of the Alliance of Minorities in Pakistan. In April 2011, since April 2011, he is the counselor of the Prime Minister in Pakistan for the minorities, and he decided to take up that position after the assassination of his brother, who was the minister for the minorities and had this task of helping the minorities. And he's got now a very important role for the minorities. You have the word, you have the floor.
Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to extend my sincere thanks and compliment to the community of Sant'Egidio for organizing this meaningful seminar, and especially this topic, religion and violence, which is the need of the moment. As we know, more than 90% of the world populations are religious believers. Therefore, more than ever, there is such growing need for dialogue and relationship between religious community. The role of religion in conflict present urgent challenges that require greater understanding and cooperation among people of diverse faith. In some part of the world, we are facing threats to our religion, especially witnessing our faith, which is often hijacked, being used to promote sectarian violence, religious intolerance, discrimination, division, and terrorism. This has created fear, anger, grievances, sufferance with the loss of innocent life. Further, it has created political instability, economic crisis, perpetuating a vicious cycle that has trapped huge communities throughout the world. Every day in our country, we face cruel and harsh realities of losing life on the name of religion. And unfortunately, it's becoming part of our routine life. It has affected and impacted all of us in very deep way. Sadly, religious diversity is considered a threat towards each other rather than mutual understanding and potential for growth. Despite growing awareness and promotion of interreligious dialogue all over the world, today we are unable to control this situation, which has jeopardized peace in the world. There are complex phenomena behind it, but in my opinion and experience, there are some important factors which are promoting the religious violence and tolerance. Extreme poverty, illiteracy, and huge disparities between developed and underdeveloped countries have fostered grievance, sufferance, and loss of hope, all of which continue to undermine peace, stability, prosperity, and harmony in the world. We are well aware that in underdeveloped countries, millions of children, ranging in all school ages, don't go to school. They are deprived of their fundamental right to education that has left them victim and preventing them from reaching their full potential. Illiteracy and poverty creates a fertile environment for groups with extremist ideologies and agenda. They inculcate our children with the conviction that to kill and to die a martyr in the name of their religion is not only the norm, but also the basis for an eternal reward. These children grow up with no other objective in life than to die for their specific ideology, an ideology that is anti-human, anti-religious, anti-Islamic, and against the teaching of all great religion, and it is evil. And especially when I was yesterday listening the speech of Mufti of Egypt, he said this extremist ideology has nothing to see with the religion and it has nothing to see with the Islam. Religious minorities in some countries are considered a threat by some majority communities, and often their increase in number and their presence create a fear that triggers aggressive reaction from those who view them as enemies of their rap ideology. Discrimination with act of violence can be seen within several sectors of life in different societies, especially in underdeveloped countries. It certainly affects the marginalized, oppressed, and those least influential with no means and ability to retaliate. A particular concerning result of such discrimination against the oppressed and marginalized is decreased access to justice, where they are often subjugated to a form of justice that is influenced by the powerful, prominent religious, fanatic, and political influential people, while the guilty rich and powerful walk free. This is beyond the more general fault in the system. In some cases, false accusations are used to settle personal score, to target religious minority, to further extremist agendas. This gives a negative message of intolerance among people of diverse faith, which is often perceived as a sign of division between religion, especially among Christians and Muslims in our country. It creates an environment to those who use religion for their personal agenda, creating further rifts and suspicion between religion. Therefore, there is an imminent need to stop this propaganda and expose this agenda through various interventions, including stopping the financial support to those where these groups receive. We must highlight the golden values of great religion, sacrifices, underlining love, forgiveness, and reconciliation. For me personally, while protecting the religious minorities in Pakistan, where I faced a lot of threats and problems with the extremist ideology, there I found a lot of good support from our Muslim friends. I would like to remember the governor of Punjab in Pakistan, who was true Muslim, noble person. He lost his life defending a Christian woman who was accused of blasphemy, Asya Bibi. The same when a small girl of 14 years old, mentally disabled, she was accused of blasphemy, and huge number of people were going to attack the Christian community. There I used my personal relationship with Muslim leaders, including Imam of Lahore, Maulana Khabir Azad. So we overcome, and this girl was not only released, but the false accusation which was made by the Imam of the mosque was put behind the bar, and this was first time in the history of Pakistan. Violence in the name of religion has frightened the whole community of Pakistan, leaving us in most occasion powerless. Behind such cruel realities, there are complex phenomena which clearly needs to be identified and addressed. This is the part of work which we are committed to carry on. It is a legacy that was passed on me from my younger brother Shahbaz Bhatti, who dedicated 28 years of his life to protect the persecuted Christians in Pakistan and to bring in mainstream of the society marginalized, oppressed, and his tireless efforts to bring peace in Pakistan. I am absolutely convinced that only way to bring peace in this world is honoring and respecting our basic right of religious freedom through religious dialogue. Religious diversity should be considered an opportunity and potential for the society to flourish and grow, not a threat as it is now perceived in many countries, including my country. It's very clear to all of us that religion actually doesn't advocate hate, violence, and discrimination, and strongly condemn killing in the name of religion. Yet, most of the time, religion is hijacked, misused to attack, divide, as well as create hatred, fear among people of different faith. I believe in the power of dialogue and a relationship that can bring revolutionary changes. I believe the fight against illiteracy and poverty is a key point to transform the societies where religious intolerance, division, and violence has reached its maximum peak. The alternative is disparities in education influenced by multiple factors such as wealth, gender, ethnicity, geographic location, low early learning opportunities, and generally low quality of learning. It is critical that all those can positively influence children, learning opportunities, engage in this. I am convinced that the role played by the educator is important to success of any educational program. How and what is taught deeply influence whether children appreciate and respect ethnic religious diversity and view their minority fellow negatively as valueless aliens in their own country. We know that if instilled in early life, this negative attitude resist change and contribute to the disintegration of the social fabric of community, to discrimination, and finally to sectarian violence. It's imperative that we promote freedom of religion, values beyond childhood. We know that societies are more likely to flourish when its citizens have justice and freedom to voice their deepest belief and highest ideal. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Bhatti, for your presentation, which is based upon a great experience. I would like to underline what you have said, which is very important. Faith, which is used to promote intolerance, discrimination, and suffering, has unwelcome effects on all world communities. What happens in a single community nowadays is not restricted to that particular community, but it's something that that influences everywhere, and we have to intervene somehow. In what way? The way you suggest, and I share, is to base on studying and understanding the factors that nourish violence, and to take up challenges, a commitment to vanquish that. Peace will depend upon our capacity to analyze and study that phenomenon, and to struggle against everything that fosters violence. I would like to underline your 4 points: struggle against poverty, struggle against imbalance, discrimination, the struggle against illiteracy. These are the ways on which we can create our dialogue. Thank you very much.